how to put together a coaching package. I say this as someone who has generated over $1 million in one coaching package alone. So I know what I'm talking about. I've had coaching packages when I was first getting started that flopped. Heck, I've had coaching packages like after I've been an established coach that still flopped. So if you're wondering, well, how do I put this thing together? How do I think about it? What do I put in it? You're in luck because we're gonna get into it right now. Hey, CourtneyLSanders here. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new to me, I'm a full-time online certified life and business coach as well as wife and mom. I wear all the hats and do all the things. Yes, your girl is certified. I'll be mentioning this in a few upcoming videos because I know one of my most popular videos on my channel is how to become a six-figure life coach without a certification. So I recently bit the bullet and got my certification as a part of the process of getting my own coaching program certified. And that is really related to what we're going to be talking about here today, which is how to put together a coaching package. And I say this as someone who has generated over $1 million in one coaching package alone. So I know what I'm talking about. I've had coaching packages when I was first getting started that flopped. Heck, I've had coaching packages like after I've been an established coach that still flopped. You know, you don't always get it right. Sometimes you're putting things out there and it's your best guess. But I feel really fortunate that for the majority of my career, I've really had the opportunity to create coaching programs that have not only gotten my clients really great results, but have really built my business in the process. And so I'm super passionate about this topic because so many life coaches are just bent on doing this $150 coaching session thing. And I get it. Oftentimes that is something that people run to, especially if they're like in a certification program that requires so many hours and they're like, okay, let me just get these, single sessions together. But, after you're past that and you're at a place where you're like actually focusing on building your business, you are not going to be able to build your business on $150 coaching sessions alone. Quite as it's kept, you're not going to be able to quit your job on $150 coaching sessions, okay? The thing that is really going to build your business is having a signature coaching program, at least one to get started, and then you might have a few as you grow and expand. So it's huge. Again, it can really grow your business. I've had signature coaching programs, again, that I made multi-six figures in just one program, and then just recently, I have a signature coaching program that has generated over $1 million just in that coaching program. So if I can do it, you can definitely do it too, but you're not going to be able to do it unless you actually buckle down and create your signature coaching program. So if you're wondering, well, how do I put this thing together? How do I think about it? What do I put in it? You're in luck because we're going to get into it right now. All right, the first thing that you want to do when you are thinking about creating a coaching program, like this is the most important, is like upfront number one, is you need to begin with the end in mind. You need to begin thinking about what is the end result that I want the client who goes through this coaching program to walk away with. Too many coaches make the mistake of first starting by thinking about, okay, how many sessions do I want this coaching program to be? How long do I want it to be? How long should the calls be? Should I offer weekly 30-minute calls or should I offer bi-weekly 90-minute calls? Should it be a video call or should it be a phone call? Should I offer text message support? Like, none of those things are the things that you should be focused on. When you sit down and you're like, I want to create either my first or new coaching program or signature offer, the first thing you need to focus on is what is the person going to walk away with? What is the end result that they are going to get as a result of my coaching program? And so I say this all the time because I know this can be a struggle, especially for life coaches, because they think that, I become a life coach, I get my life coaching certification, whatever, and I'm just going to coach people on their life, on their whole life. That's not how it works, right? Just as a drugstore doesn't just sell medicine, right? They have specific bottles with different, is it a headache? Is it a back pain? Is it a toothache, right? You wouldn't just buy medicine, right? You would buy medicine that had a specific designation on it. And so it's the same thing with a life coach. And so even though you might have gotten your certification or gotten your training in a broad life coaching area, you still want to think about what is the area that you want to specialize in. And I find a lot of people are resistant to that because they think that it's going to pigeonhole them. I don't want to, get boxed in. Trust me, if you niche down, it's actually going to allow you to blow up, right? Because it's going to give you a firm foundation that you can grow the rest of your business with. So understand that we are creating your first coaching program, or we're creating a coaching program, right? It doesn't have to be the end all be all coaching program. It doesn't have to be your only coaching program. You just need to create at least one coaching program, again, to generate revenue and to get those clients results. Because here's the thing, if you focus on the result first and then you build the program based on that result, your client is more likely to get that result. And when they get the result, then you have a testimonial, and it makes it that much easier for you to sell additional coaching in the future. So the first step is to begin with the end in mind. All right, after you've determined what that result is and you've begun with the end in mind, the next thing you'll want to do is you want to outline the outcomes, right? So there's like a mega outcome that your person or your client is going to get, or a mega result, but there's little outcomes along the way, right? So you want to get clear on what are those milestones, or what are those outcomes that they should be achieving along the way that lets you know that they are on track for completing your coaching program in the time that you would have allotted. And so this answers the question that a lot of people have, is like how long my coaching program should be. And I'm always like kind of amazed at this question, because it's like, oh, is there like a standard? Should it be 3 months? Should it be 4 months? And I'm saying it depends on what is the result that you are getting your client, right? There are some coaching programs that might take a year. I know coaching programs that are like 3 years long, right? 36 months long, because that's literally how long it takes the client to get the result. But I know other coaching programs that are 16 weeks. I know some coaching programs that are 30 days. So it really depends on what is the result that your client is going to get. But part of how you can gauge how long your coaching program needs to be is by understanding what are those like in between milestones that they're going to hit. And so you want to make sure that you are outlining those individual outcomes as you are building your coaching program. All right, the next thing that you'll need to do now that you know your result and you know those outcomes in between is you want to design the delivery. So this is another thing that a lot of people don't think about. They just kind of run to whatever they feel is standard in the industry, right? So I know it's very common for coaches to offer, weekly 60-minute sessions or something like that. So if they've decided that maybe it's going to take them 4 months to get the client the result, they automatically say, all right, you are going to be a part of my program. It's a 4-month program, and you're going to get weekly 60-minute coaching calls, right? You need to design the delivery by thinking about, is that actually most beneficial to get the client result? I know for me in particular, especially when I was doing, and I still am doing business coaching, but for my business coaching programs, when I first got started in business coaching, I was doing the standard like, it's going to be weekly 60-minute calls. And I found that my clients were actually getting worse outcomes because the calls were too frequent. They weren't having time to actually, apply a lot of the work that we were doing with them and to have these epiphanies. And so they were like rushing through the homework and coming on the calls just kind of with some slapdash stuff together because they felt pressure to, not show up on the call empty-handed. And so I found that when I stretched the calls out to every 2 weeks, again, for the result that I was offering and the process that I was designing, that worked really well for me. So you'll want to think about, again, what is the result that you're offering? What are the outcomes that they're going to hit along the way? And then how can you design it in such a way that supports them achieving those results versus just doing what you think is standard? All right, I have more where that came from, but first I want to hear from you. What coaching program are you working on creating? Share in the comments below. All right, the next thing that you'll want to do when you are coming up with your coaching package is you'll want to create support for your student's style, right? Or your client's style. And oftentimes I find that we don't think enough about this. We just think in terms of target market, like, I'm helping new moms, adjust to motherhood, or I'm helping middle managers adjust to their new level of leadership, or whatever your coaching program is. But we don't ask ourselves, what is the general student style that this type of person, this target market is going to have? Or maybe there's multiple student styles, meaning how do they learn? How do they receive information? Are they going to go with what I offer them? Are they going to challenge me? Like, these are things that you have to think about. In fact, I remember I was coaching a client some years ago who really focused on working with like ultra high level executive women, right? And she kind of worked with them on some of their inner trauma, past stuff, relationships, different things. And she was talking about how she was designing these amazing programs, but she was coming up against, some issues because her clients were giving her a lot of pushback. And so that was the discussion around not really supporting the student's style, right? She had to come to terms with, you are dealing with very like high-powered women, right? They're used to controlling things. They kind of think they know everything. In addition to coming up with the content and the delivery and how many calls and whatever, you also need to make sure that the way that you are delivering the content and how you are supporting them actually fits their style, right? In fact, there is a really great example of this on Netflix. If you look at it's a TV show / documentary called The Coach's Playbook, and it follows different high-profile coaches in the sports arena. And so I watched the episode with Serena's coach, and he talks about when he first became her coach, and he was like introducing himself to her. They were having, I guess, like their first like trial session or whatever, where she was playing and he was kind of watching on the sidelines, and they were kind of filling each other out, or she was kind of filling him out to see if this is who she wanted to coach her going forward. I guess she had like taken a break, and he was talking to her or like giving her some feedback, and she was like not paying attention, like on her phone talking to other people, kind of blowing him off like, I'm already the GOAT, right? I'm the greatest of all time, like whatever, dude. You want to be my new coach, like whatever. And so knowing that about her, he said he took the racket out of her hands and like threw it and was like, I'm talking to you. What you need to do. And he said after that, she kind of was like, oh. And it's kind of crazy. You would think like, oh, wouldn't she be mad? But she respected him, right? Because she's like a top level person. And again, he knows his athletes. He works with, a lot of high level tennis players. He kind of knows how they are, the power struggles, all of that. And so he had a particular way to catch the attention, or really to get buy-in for people and for his clients so that they would respect him. And so I'm not saying you need to do that per se, but you need to think about the types of clients that you're going to be working with and make sure that your coaching program actually supports the student style. It's not just dumping a bunch of information on them, but it supports the unique needs that your unique target market is going to have. All right, the next thing you need to do when you're putting together your coaching package is you need to put together what I call ready for results onboarding, right? I find that onboarding is something that not a lot of coaches think about. They just get so excited that they made the sale that they're like, okay, great. Either they're like sending their new clients a deluge of like paperwork and contracts and all these different things, or really they don't, talk to their client, or the client doesn't hear from them until their first session. And so that kind of gap in between when the client signs up and when the coaching program actually starts is actually a very critical time. And so you want to make sure that in that onboarding phase, again, you are almost like designing the delivery of just the onboarding to make sure that you are getting the client ready for the results, right? So what's the mindset that they need to be in? What paperwork do they need? Are there tools? Are there worksheets? Like, you want to make sure that your onboarding process has everything that they need in order to hit the ground running and to start off on the right foot so that they ultimately get the results that they're looking for towards the end of your coaching program. Again, it's kind of like another look at begin with the end in mind, right? Your onboarding needs to be really tight to really support the outcomes that you want your clients to get. All right, thanks so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you're very serious about putting together a coaching package, in fact, maybe you are actively looking to do this because you are actively looking to transition into a coaching career, I invite you to learn more and even apply to my CLS Certification Program. I'm so excited. This is brand new. This is a brand new certification program that we are rolling out. It is accredited, right? It's not just a certification program. It's actually accredited by a third-party accrediting institution. And so when you go through this coaching program, not only will you walk away with an accredited life coaching certification, but you will also walk away with a fully put together, fully built coaching package, because that is something that we provide for you in about 90 to 120 days. Again, you walk away as a certified life coach, and you walk away with a fully built coaching program. You know exactly what's in it, how long it's going to be, who the target market is, what the niche is, so that you are ready with this coaching program in hand and you can immediately start enrolling clients into it. And so if you want to learn more about it and how it works, go ahead and click the link below. We would love to speak to you and tell you all about it because I'm so excited about it. All right, thanks so much for watching this video. If you loved it, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe. And if you can't wait for my next YouTube video, make sure you're subscribed to my podcast, The Courtney Sanders Show, on both iTunes and Spotify. And if you can't wait for my next podcast episode or my next YouTube video, make sure you are following me on CourtneyLSanders. It's the behind the scenes of my life, including the behind the scenes of how I'm building this coaching program and all the new cool things that we are rolling out pretty soon. So check me out there in order to catch the behind the scenes. But until then, I'll see you in the next video. Bye.